Hey everyone, welcome back to Brand Murphy Garage. This is a 67 Mustang. I thought y'all would like to see it. So, these last few months I've been down here in Texas, and this is actually a friend of mine's car. When I got here, this thing was pretty rough. Not cosmetically, but just drivability was pretty, yeah, just not great. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll show you around the car. Let you take a peek at it, and then we'll kind of go over everything we did to get this thing basically running and driving the way that it is now, because it is almost a completely different car than what it was when I first got to put my hands on it back in August. So as I mentioned, this is a 1967 Mustang 289. Some of you may see the GT emblems and hubcaps on here. This is not a GT car, it's just badged up to look like one. The current owner didn't do that, the guy he bought it from did, but I think it looks really good, especially with this paint. It looks really good. And honestly, for being a 289 car, now it's running really smooth. I'm actually more impressed with that 289 than I thought I'd be. That's the first 289 I've got to work on and actually be in a car with the 289 equipped. But this green paint with the gold stripes, I'm really digging it a lot. It's a very beautiful looking car in my opinion. Now granted, I do like the white with the blue stripe look, but this is pretty good. So this is an automatic car, but the interior is in really decent condition. These seats are fantastic. I think they were reupholstered. Back seat looks great. Good looking bench. My buddy went ahead and installed I think this is like a GT350 style wood grain looking steering wheel. I really like this. It's got an aftermarket radio unit in it. This is Bluetooth, and like I said, 3-speed auto, but dash is in really good condition. The gauges look great. Get your little Mustang badge. Yeah, and one of my favorite things, what I love about old vehicles, is old school AC. I love that. So under the hood here, we got our still pretty stock 289 V8. Has been upgraded to I believe that's an MSD ignition system in it. I'm pretty sure the cam is stock. Those are stock heads. It still has the stock manifolds on it, and I'm pretty sure it's still got the stock style exhaust. It may be like a newer exhaust, but it's still stock style. It's pretty quiet. I think he wants to go ahead and upgrade to headers and a dual exhaust out the back, because it's still a single pipe exit. But yeah, we went to a little bit of a bigger fan here. This thing stays really cool, even down here in Texas where it gets hot. So it's not bad. It's a nice little setup. It's a great cruiser. All right, let's start this bad boy up. There it is. You can probably barely hear it. What you can probably hear is the exhaust tick that's going on. But here she is, the little 289 that could, running real nice and smooth. You should have seen this thing when we were first working on it. It was just like it was all over the place. She's running pretty smooth now. She's doing good. And then I'll let you listen to this super awesome exhaust sound. Yeah, God, sounds muscly. And Robin, if you're listening to this, I hope you heard that. You gotta get new exhaust, man. Ugh, let's see here. Real responsive now. I love it. This thing is freaking sweet. I want it. And honestly, even if I were to buy this car, I'd probably just modify the 289 that's in there and just have fun with it. All right, so what all did we do to the Mustang? Well, bunch of carb work. I did a lot of carb work on that carburetor. It is not the stock style carburetor. It's a newer Holley Street Avenger 650, I think is what it is. It's a vacuum secondary carb. So when we got that, we put it on, exhaust pipe was just blowing black smoke out of it horribly. So it was like really rich. So we went in, changed the jets, went from 66s to 63s. And that seemed to do the trick on eliminating just the fatness of the air fuel mixture. So we got that taken care of. No more black smoke out the tailpipe, no more carbon fouled plugs. That was good. But the power still seemed like it needed something. Like it was, you'd put your foot down on it, it would shudder a little bit, and you know, just felt like there was more to be desired. So turned to the timing next, and that one took a little bit just because the timing marks on that old dampener were like non-existent. So we found top dead center, found the old very thin markings on there from TDC to 10 degrees before top dead. So with that, we were able to go ahead and change it up. It was originally sitting at like 4 degrees before top dead center for initial, and with my guess somewhere around 22 to 24 degrees total timing. So sorry about that. With that being said, we upped the timing to I think we're sitting at 12 or 14, somewhere in there, initial timing, and running somewhere between 32 and 34 degrees total. Just guesstimating because the markings don't go that far around, but by eyeballing it, it's somewhere in there. And the engine loves it. There's no pinging, nothing like that. It loves the timing, and that took, you know, care of the stumble. Also kind of took care of the hard starts that it was having too, because it used to like just crank on this thing, and it would have a real difficult time starting. So that got changed. The accelerator pump arm on the carb was way out of whack, so it wasn't delivering fuel. Like when you just first put your foot down on the throttle, the arm wouldn't even engage the lever right away. So we tightened that down, got that taken care of. So now it's got fuel all through the pressing down on the throttle cable. Upgraded the squirter. What else? I feel like we did a little bit more work with the carb. Anyways, we got that all dialed in, running smooth, running good. On to some other things. We went ahead, we did I think it's called the Shelby drop. This is the first Mustang I worked on, so I'm sorry I'm not as knowledgeable on the Mustang side of it. But the Shelby drop on the A-arms, when we replaced the A-arms and bushings, it's got newer shocks, newer springs. We redid the brakes, bled all the brake lines. New thermostat in there. We did a citric acid cleaning of the whole coolant system. New transmission bushing in there. That got rid of what was left of the shudder in the drivetrain. I think that's it. And just doing all of that, like even though the car looks visually like it was really good, when you drove it, it was just kind of like, eh. So doing all that has now taken this thing from a project in the garage to a nice Sunday driver. And I had a lot of fun with it. I really am gonna miss this car, just like I'm going to miss that Shelby Cobra that I got to mess around with too. And I also got to mess around with the 1980 Turbo Trans Am. That was a really cool car. So my little summer adventures of being down here in Texas and getting to play with other people's cars is over. Time to head back home to Pennsylvania now, not Maryland. Get the Trans Am back and start turning wrenches on that. All right, here we go. It couldn't do that before. You put your foot down on it beforehand, that thing it would just basically fall on its face. Now, it's peeling rubber. God, I want this car. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. We'll be back again here soon. If you like this video, give a thumbs up. Yeah, can't wait to be back and playing with the Trans Am. All right, see you soon.